Hey there, everyone. Chris here, and I wanted to share with you a couple of thoughts on arrangement. Okay, so this is kind of a little bonus material lesson at the end of the Guajira Flamenco Development Program that I just finished. So it's a great program, but I wanted to talk to you about what you have within that program. Okay. So within every single development program, well, starting around number 7, and now that was number 18. Wahida is number 18. So from number 7 on, you pretty much have what I'm about to talk about right now with number 18. Is you have your own build a piece or your own flamenco Lego set. Okay, so what I do each flamenco development program includes falsetas, the main rhythms of whatever palo that is in that particular program, and then you also learn how to use all of those. Okay, then you go over the techniques, you get better and more functional with those techniques, and certain falsetas are going to take you longer. Certain falsetas you can get up and running pretty reasonably well pretty quickly. Sometimes just the regular bass rhythm is going to be a challenge. Okay, but in each one, you have the building blocks for your own flamenco piece. Okay? So, what I find liberating for me with learning in this, like teaching in this style, is that I think for those who have the creative spirit, this can be very empowering for you because then you get to have a little bit of ownership of the music. I create the music, but then you work on the arrangement and make it yours. Okay? So then all of a sudden you have this cool arrangement of my music that I might not have done that arrangement that way, but you have that artistic ability. And so hopefully, I'm hoping that that speaks to people. And that's why I've created these flamenco development programs that way, not fixing it in one particular way. However, I know that this can seem daunting. This way of teaching, asking you to do this, can seem daunting to those who might be brand new to flamenco and you're like, I just want a full piece and I don't want to mess it up. I think really it comes from fear of, and respect. It's respecting the art form, respecting flamenco and going, I don't want to mess this up. I'd rather have something that I know is right and go from there. Well, I want to let you know that with any of my flamenco development programs, you have the building blocks for any of those solos, whether it's soleá por bulerías or multiple bulerías, soleá, alegrías, fandangos, tangos, all that stuff. So you have in each one, you have the bass rhythms, you have some falsetas, you have a cierre, you have everything you need to make a solid mini solo flamenco guitar piece. Okay, so I want to let you know that and then give you license to try it out. Okay, don't feel that you have to get it right. Just you're gonna get better by going through it and having some fails. And really, the process of the organic process of learning flamenco without a regimen like I provide, without this kind of education, would be for you to learn falseta by falseta, learn a little bit more complex bass, what I call bass rhythms or foundational rhythms, and you put them together and you start cementing things that work really well for you in your own personal style. And then also you start realizing, well, this falseta doesn't go very well within this other grouping. So I like that falseta, but it doesn't fit with all these other falsetas that I've learned from various sources. Okay? Now that organic process takes a lot longer. It's going to take you a lot longer to build a piece. Okay? But that's what happens as flamenco guitarists. That's what we do. We start collecting falsetas and then we end up creating a piece. And even as a composer, I create falsetas all the time, but I go, oh, well, finally, all of a sudden I created one that goes right next. It just seems like, man, those work so well together. Now all of a sudden I have these two that go together. Oh, I have these two, and these two go really well with it. and now I have 4 together, you know? And so that's how I start composing too, a lot of times in the traditional flamenco style, if it's not a through composed piece. Ooh, I'm opening a big can of worms there, okay? So what I want to encourage you to do as a student of mine going through my flamenco development programs is that you can contact me, okay? Let me know what you're working on. Let me know what you're arranging. You know, I'm in flamenco development program number whatever, and say, I've got this falsetta going into this falsetta going into this cierre, and then I start here into this falsetta or whatever. What do you think of that? You know, and we can talk about it and we can go back and forth. But if you have any questions, let me know. But I would encourage you within each one that you do, each flamenco development program that you do, so that includes like bass rhythms, like I said, and falsetas and cierres and rajeos and all that stuff. With each one, I encourage you as fast as possible to create your own arrangement. It doesn't have to be set in stone. You can add later as you get other falsetas up to speed, or just try different things out. It's important to do that, but it's also important to create a little mini piece for yourself and have that as your goal, okay, to be able to string these through. And it will also help you in your transitions between them, because a lot of musicians, not just in flamenco, we struggle with transitions between sections. And so the more different types of arrangements that you can get out of each flamenco development program, then you're training yourself to have those transitions in between each one really solid. And that's another thing that ends up happening. As a professional flamenco guitarist, I have a set of, I have this computer up here with a bunch of different falsetas and a bunch of different palos. And I will sometimes create a falseta on the spot while I'm performing. However, most of the time, it is a falseta I already know that I might do a little bit of a little bit of a variation to. But really what I'm doing is taking falsetas I already know and putting them in a different arrangement that feels right at that time. I could open another can of worms there, because I could talk about, well, what makes it right at that time? There's environmental considerations, there's personal considerations, whether that's just my heart, what my heart feels, or it could be technical, like, oh, it's really cold and my hands aren't working today very well. Or, all these factors where I'm making decisions in the moment, okay? So, anyway, that's another opportunity within each flamenco development program, is to be able to have a collection of falsetas. All of a sudden, then you have your own hierarchy. I've got this. This one, I'm going to need a couple months to work on. I'm not going to just need 1 month until the next one comes up. I'm going to need a little bit of time for this. And then you start going, well, this one, Chris, I like your music, but this one, it's just not for me. That's totally cool. But you still got a whole bunch of others that you like and that are usable for you. And then what's cool is then you have these and you go back and you're like, that falseta I didn't really like before. I didn't realize that really it was a technical thing. It was really challenging for me. The stretch was hard, or a particular technique was challenging, and that's really why I didn't like it. But now that I'm better at that, all of a sudden I really like this work. But that's the beauty. You have these, you can go through them again and again and get more and more out of them each time. And then you can watch the videos too, so that way you see and hear different things. You're like, oh, I didn't realize Chris was doing that. And now I see that as he did share this with me. I just forgot. I was so focused at that time, my level, I could only focus on this one part, and I wasn't ready for this other note that he gave. And so that's the beauty of these flamenco development programs. And I want to, again, encourage you to make an arrangement. Don't be scared. You can't mess it up. You got these Legos. They're already prefixed. They work well, and they will work together. You just got to put them together, okay? And and it's okay. It'll all be okay. Send me your arrangements. Send me what you're thinking. I like this, and I'm happy to talk you through it, okay? Phew. Enjoy the Guajira work this month. I really like it, and I think you will too. There's a lot of fun stuff to it, all right? Have a great day. As always, I'm here for you with any questions at all. If you have any questions, get in touch with me. All right? Have a great day. Get to practicing. Bye-bye.